I think crab is better than lobster.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I genuinely feel that way. I think there's a lot more natural flavor in crab than lobster.
From Maine's cold coast to Connecticut pride, Vermont's green hills take it all in stride. Massachusetts traffic we grip and we grind with a Dunkin' iced coffee and no peace of mind. So New England stands up proud. Chowder thick, we shout it loud. From Fenway Chance to Rhode Island Tide, New Hampshire's cry, live free or die. So New England with Ian Brownhill.
Good friggin' morning from New England, folks, and welcome back to episode 75. Wow. Damn, we've come a long way, my boys.
Very far.
Come a long way. Episode
And no
75.
slides is slowing down.
Episode 75 of the So New England podcast. You guys know who we are at this point. Ian, RJ, and Vin. We are locked in. We got you guys another great guest. RJ, tell us who we got today.
Today's guest comes to us as a transplant, but don't let the roots fool you, because as he now resides in our beloved New England, he has made an impact and joins us by discussing our amazing cuisine to the masses, no pun intended. Whether you've seen him on Let's Meet Boston, Nesson, or in his usual spot, his car, he shares his thoughts and opinions of all our delightful treats and eats so that when it comes time for a bite, you know what he's going to tell you. And if you think his opinions aren't valid, you'd be arguing with 200,000 of his loyal, loving followers across his platforms. Joining us today, it is my pleasure to welcome, want to be a stay-at-home dad? Talk about career goals? Mr. Key Henson.
Thank you guys. Good to be here. You know, the username too is like a funny coincidence because it was not supposed to be.
That was going to be my first question out of the bat.
It was not at all tied to the food. It was when I was first thinking of starting content, I had a good friend that does content for a living as well. And we were thinking like, oh, what should we do? Like, what should I do? And my partner, my now fiance, she was working at the office. I was working remote. I was like, oh, I'll pretend to be like a stay-at-home dad. I'm going to be like, I'm preparing to do this in life. I filmed like one video and it was like, oh, this is stupid. Nobody's gonna watch these videos. So I just left the username. I posted a food video, forgot to change the name, and it just stuck. That's the name now.
I love that for you.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Still an aspiration, of course. Like I'm not giving up on the goal.
Well, I appreciate you making the trek down. I love even more that not only are you a transplant, but your first experience really coming down and hanging in Little Roadie is you get to experience our traffic. So you're welcome for that.
Oh my goodness, man.
We are the baby Massachusetts, so we have traffic just like them.
I tried to plan it out too. I was like, okay, I checked, I think at like 1 p.m. Like, okay, so it's going to be hour, 10 minutes. And I should know because like you said, driving anywhere in New England, add 20, right?
Always.
But then I check again at like 2:30 and then it's like hour 40 minutes. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah. I got a message.
Oh shit.
But yeah.
That's hilarious. Great. So you're a transplant. Where are you coming from originally?
Born and raised in Annapolis, Maryland. Lived in the Maryland, D.C. area pretty much my whole life. Went to school there too. I officially moved from D.C. to Boston. And that was in 2022, so I've been here a few years now. Definitely still transplant level of info, I think, on New England.
There's a lot to learn.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I learn more every day. But no, it's been great. I feel like the first year or so, it was tough because I think the hard part is like building the community. I think a lot of people that are in New England have some type of ties to New England, and I was kind of up here just by myself. Well, not by myself. I have my fiance now, but you know, just by myself in terms of like community.
She can hear that, like, excuse me?
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm like trying to make sure. Hey, can you mark that down? Actually,
clip that. We got you.
Skip the 10 seconds on that one. But no, it was, you know, trying to build that community, and I feel like New England's been great for that. Honestly, you know, I think when people think of New England, I think people think of more like harsh personalities, but I really feel like at the core of it is honesty. And people kind of welcome you in here too, and they want you to be excited to be here.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think people love sharing more and more about New England, and it's been great.
I feel like the only difficulty you probably face is the fact that you are a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Oh my goodness!
And I only learned that in a very celebratory way when I saw the very sad post you had after the Patriots won our game on Sunday Night Football last Sunday.
Hey, listen, now that's the whole sports experience up here has been tough for me because being from Maryland, like there's no New England sport team I could not, or that I don't have trauma with. You know, like the Patriots destroyed my childhood. The Orioles have been bad, but the Red Sox obviously have, you know, blossomed into kind of like a dynasty during my life. No, it was tough. And then that game, you know, the Ravens do what the Ravens do, blow a big lead. I'm at Banners in Boston too, one of the biggest sports bars in the city, because my fiance's parents came into town. We're like, oh, we're going to give you the whole experience. Not well planned out. Not a good decision. I'm in there in Ravens jersey. Yeah, people are chirping me, clapping, looking at me.
Yeah, every time there's a play.
Oh, it's bad.
Ravens jersey right next to TD Garden. I love that for you.
No,
execution level 100.
That's what I say. I'm learning more and more, and then some of it is learning the don'ts. You know?
Yeah. Now, what brought you up to Boston specifically? Is your fiance from New England?
No. Okay. So she's from Virginia, actually. Virginia.
Okay.
But she moved up for a job in biotech. You know, biotech's huge up here.
Huge, yeah.
So she moved up in 2021. We had been together about a year or so at that point, and I was still in DC. Once my lease ended in DC in 2022, kind of made that decision, like, hey, you know, let's make the move in together. Moved into a small studio in Cambridge. Tough first few months to be living together in a studio. Tough environment, right? We put ourselves in the hardest situation possible. But so that's what made me move up in 2022, and then. Yeah, been up here ever since.
That's awesome. And now you've recently gone full-time as a creator too. So massive congratulations on that.
Thank
man. That
you.
is fantastic.
I really appreciate it. It's
hard work.
I saying it's hard work is, it is hard work, but people will listen and be like, well, I just watch you eat in your car. Like, how hard it is.
Right, of course.
But first off, you have no idea how heavy those meals. I'm just kidding. But no, it's cool too to have more time to be, you know, really explore different creative ways I can do it, right? I felt like when I was doing it, when I was balancing a full-time job and doing the content on the side, I was just kind of getting complacent, right? Like, I know this type of video will probably work. Let me just go with it, right? Or I know this certain area people want to see. Let me just go there. Now it's like, hey, I got time to drive to Rhode Island on a Monday, right? Like, I can get up
2 hours to get here, but you got time.
Maybe I don't have the full day that it actually requires to get anywhere, but yeah, no, it's good to have the time, good to have the headspace too, right, to kind of think through things and try to explore more creative ways to do what I do.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure myself, along with everyone here in this room and all of your followers, are all looking forward to seeing what kind of changes might come along with that full-time ability.
Yeah, honestly,
I'm sure it's going to be entertaining.
I think it's like, if I can somehow maneuver this into a bigger car. I've been driving this small Nissan this whole way, and I'm like, man, it's getting tight. I got crumbs.
It sounds like there's a lot of Boston-based dealerships that might have a potential partnership on their hands.
Listen, man, I'm putting a birdie in the ear because there's crumbs in this car that I cannot find. It's just too tight. It's too small, man. Like, so
I love it. I love
thinking
it.
like a dad van, or like you want a little more luxury.
The dad van would fit the brand, so I'm not going to turn the dad van down. I'm not a really big luxury car guy. You know what's crazy is the first car I ever had was a 1993 Mercedes, and my uncle-in-law, they actually got divorced, so he's not my uncle anymore. But he gave it to me, and he was like, you know, you've been a really responsible kid. I trust you with this car. Within 2 weeks, I ran it into, you know, the little like rails they put at the gas stations around the pumps.
Yep.
Specifically so you don't run into the pumps.
Yeah.
I ran into the rail trying to pull into the gas station. And I remember he lived a little further away. He came down and saw it, and he was like, brother, I just don't think you should ever have a nice car in your life, if that's how you treat it. So I've stuck to that. So I drive.
Nissan ever since.
That's what I'm saying. Nissan gang. Hey, Nissan, if you're around too, if you're listening,
hey,
I'll upgrade
a nice
Nissan.
Rogue,
here.
maybe a Murano.
My mom drives a Rogue, and I was just in her Rogue because she came up to visit this for Christmas. And I'm like, dude, this is the perfect amount of space. Because it's not too big,
right?
But you're not in a
mid-size
Nissan
SUV.
Nissan.
Just again,
it's a slam dunk.
Yeah, just reach out. You know, we can talk. We can discuss.
Love it. Well, talk me through why the food for content creation, right? Because you had a full-time job. We had kind of discussed your name, and you're like, oh, I want to get into making content.
Right.
So what landed you on food? Did you have like a big culinary background or just a home that, you know, food really brought the family together? What really led you down this path?
Yeah. So my mom is a chef. She's cooked my
awesome.
whole life. Yeah. So food and family have always been tied together. My mom's a professional chef. My family always gets together, does these huge cookouts, throughout the summer, and then huge dinners for holidays and things like that. So I've always been, you know, I've never been the chef. I've always been the eater. So when I was thinking of content,
the better part of the culinary experience, in my opinion.
10 times out of 10. I don't care what people try to tell you. You know, you watch the people cooking. They want to be eating their food. They don't want to be sitting there preparing it. Don't let them lie to you. But once I moved to Boston and, you know, I was telling you guys, I was thinking about like different ways to do content for a while. I actually started a podcast too that nobody will ever hear, but it's out there in the ether somewhere. But I remember looking, being on my phone on TikTok or Instagram or something. And you guys know Keith Lee, right? The big food.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Keith Lee.
This was right around the time he was blowing up. And I was
Didn't
like,
he just win Creator of the Year?
I think so.
Like that?
Somewhere,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, he's been killing it for
Yeah.
a few years now. And I remember he was just starting to blow up. And I was like, I don't have someone. I'm new to Boston and I'm looking for recommendations. And I feel like I don't have someone that I can go to and be like, okay, I know he's doing like an authentic taste test of the food and giving like his real opinion. And that's not to discredit anyone that was doing, you know, that was just what I felt, you know, at the time that I was watching.
Well, that's the world of influencing, right? It's
Right.
like your job as an influencer is to convince people to typically go to these places, and that's what
Exactly.
separated Keith Lee's, you know, approach to the
Exactly.
content was that there was honesty in what he was
Right,
doing.
being genuine. And I was like, you know, maybe that's something I can explore. So I remember I was living in the North End at the time, and that same friend that I always talk content with, he was visiting. He was like, dude, what if we just go, there's a ton of famous sandwich places down here. Let's just go get a sandwich and we record it and see, you know, if there's anything, right? If you feel comfortable with it, I'll help you edit it. We'll put it together. We'll post it, and, you know, maybe you'll see the reactions. So we went to Monica's Mercado in the North End, got a chicken parm. I think I made the video about the fact that the chicken parm was $20. I was new to Boston at the time. That is the going rate. I'm adjusted. We get the sub. I record it, post it, and I think it might have got like 2,000 views. But as soon as I saw it hit like 150, I'm like, dude, I'm like Keith Lee here. But
Drug hits the blood.
Dude, it's, you know, and I would never say, you know, I think I wanted to do content because I felt like my basis was more like, I feel like I can be more creative, and I'm working a consulting job. So it's like, I don't really, like, I'm not expressing that creativity in that job. So I wanted to find that avenue. But then I realized I do want to also try to build a community in a new area that I'm in. And kind of the food and being able to hear from people on their favorite places that they think is overrated, places that they think don't get enough coverage, and being able to highlight those spots, it felt like I was also starting to build that community. So I feel like it really latched onto it very quickly. You know, within the first few videos, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out where I'm going to go next. You know, I got to interact with people too and make sure they understand that I'm learning, right? Like I'm new here, so try to go easy on me. Nobody does, but it's fun.
That's part
Welcome
of the
to New England,
territory,
especially
right?
Boston.
Yeah.
So you gotta walk the walk with them.
Fellas, let me talk to you for a second, man. Look, it's 2026 and you're not feeling like yourself lately. I get it, but it's time to do something about it. You got low energy, you're having bad workouts, you can't seem to focus. You are not alone. And trying to figure it out in today's medical world, hell, it can feel like a total hamster wheel. That's why we at the So New England podcast are wicked excited to be partnering with Game Day Men's Health. Now, here's a few fun facts. Your initial consult and lab work are completely free. And most of the results are done right in-house in about 15-20 minutes. It's a medical office built specifically for men with licensed professionals who actually give a damn and explain what's going on so that they can create a real game plan for you. They offer testosterone optimization, peptides, yes, there it is, buzzword from socials, I know you're seeing it everywhere, peptides, ED solutions, because fellas, there ain't no shame in the game, baby, and more. All completely personalized to you, which was me and the fellas' favorite part. Check out one of their locations in Garden City, Cranston, or Wayland Square right in Providence. Quick, easy, professional, and we cannot recommend them enough. Check out the video on our socials of our personal experience if you'd like, so you can kind of see what it looks like firsthand. Because me and the fellas, we all got our blood work done, and we're now all on our own customized plan right from Game Day's Men's Health. So what are you waiting for? Take control of your health today, boys. GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your appointment today.
Not only are you trying all this food probably for the first time,
Right.
you have no real what's the word? Like
Bias?
yeah, you don't
Yeah,
have a bias.
allegiances,
You're not from New England. You
Yeah.
don't have to say these are good.
Yeah, like this is
So
my
that's
mom's
probably
favorite
really
place.
cool. Yeah.
Very true.
Or like
Yeah.
I grew up eating here with my family and things
Right,
like that.
Right. Yeah, that was actually a very cool part of it, and I think it helped kind of spur the engagement from people too, because people want you to understand their opinion of it and understand their history of it, right? And I love that my comments and messages get to be a place where people get to share their like authentic experiences, because I'm sharing mine as well. Like when I did my first North End cannoli video, right, and I did the 3, you know, I'm completely numb to the fact that it's a warfare down there about the cannolis. Like, right? I'm just posting like, hey, I know there's 3 famous cannoli spots there. I'm just going to try the cannolis. And then I'm getting, comments about, oh, well, my grandmother lived in the North End for 30 years and she will swear by Mike's being the best spot.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, no, it's been cool. And like I said, I think it all kind of lends to building that community in a new area, which was big for me.
I love that. Now, when you're deciding where you want to eat next, like, how do you approach this? Like, or how did you approach it? Because there's so much to eat in Boston.
Yeah. There's
obviously so many different types of cuisines as well. So, like, did you just, like, automatically lean into the Italian, like, North End, because that's where it's at? Or, like, talk to me about how you kind of decided to creatively approach this in the content sense.
I feel like when I started, it was definitely leaning Italian. And I think the North End spots get the most coverage, too. Right. So I was kind of leaning on, like, what I had seen the most. Right. As I then started to get the feedback from folks, it really helped lead me to different areas, right? Like when I first moved to Boston, I didn't realize Dorchester was in Boston. It could have been in Rhode Island, honestly. Like I didn't even realize.
It really could be, honestly.
Really. And I think that's how people, I think that's how some people, when they visit Boston, kind of feel the same way. And getting the recommendations on like, oh, you got to go to this spot, this neighborhood spot in Dorchester and go to this neighborhood spot in Somerville. That kind of ended up being like the foundation of, okay, here's how I'll make my choices, right? I'm going to take from the people that are, generous enough to tell me their opinions and just go kind of based off that. And now I think I'm at the point where it's kind of a mix of like, I also recognize people may want to see certain places, right? Like a new place just opened up in Back Bay. People want to know about it. So, okay, I should probably go there. Yeah. But people also want to hear more about those authentic kind of like family run spots. Let's mix in some of those spots too. But it's great because like, the content ends up becoming the inputs because, everyone, a lot of people just share what they feel and a lot of people share where you should go. So I feel like I'll put out a story like, all right, tell me where I need to go over the next 6 months and I still got places I haven't even thought of yet because the list is so long to respond to.
I can only imagine like if you do carry an ongoing list of recommendations, what it looks like, it's probably... It's thousands.
It's tough. I remember when I did it the first time, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna build out a spreadsheet or like a Google sheet and share this with everybody so that everyone can see each other's recommendations. And then I was like, that's gonna be a long time. That's gonna take me too long. Like, I'm sorry. I might just share screenshots of it. But yeah, people are great up here in New England with making sure that they share, and they give you the feedback. I think that's my favorite part is like, again, like I said, I think people sometimes just generalize and say people in New England are harsh. I think the honesty always shines and they kind of provide that care in their statements, right? Like they provide, like it's not just going to be a kind of blow you off type statement. It's more of like, here's how I actually feel about this. Here's my thought out, feelings on what I'm sharing with you. And it really helps with engagement from my content.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And how do you go about like, what is your standard for like reviewing food?
Yeah.
Because I feel like each creator that we've experienced here on the pod has been able to kind of share how they enjoy and consume food. So for you personally, like what standards do you go through in your mind to say like, oh, this is, for lack of a term, like, oh, this is a 9 out of 10 or like, this is a 2 out of 10. Like, is it the taste? Is it the flavor? Is it the versatility of a sandwich or a dish or something like that? How do you go about it?
I think a sandwich is actually a good example of it because I think a lot of times the big thing or a huge thing that will always start with me is appearance. I think, if I'm going to buy something or if I'm watching a video, right, and I want to know, okay, this sandwich spot is the one I got to hit. That first look at a sandwich can tell the whole story almost. So when I'm judging a sandwich, if it looks great, that's a bonus for me, right? That first bite, if I can, get kind of the high quality aspects of each part of the sandwich, right? Like the bread is good, the meat is good, the vegetables that they put on it aren't, old vegetables that they got from 2 weeks ago. If I can get kind of the high quality aspects of each of the ingredients in that first bite, then I know it's a good sandwich usually. And then from there, it's like, okay, what specific aspects of the sandwich do I think shine more than maybe another sandwich that I've had that might be similar, right? So if it's like I've had 20 steak and cheeses, the steak on this one is some of the most tender steak I've ever had. So let me make sure I highlight that, and let me make sure that when I'm thinking of my grade that I put on it, that's added to the point. So it's kind of thinking through the quality of the ingredients that I get from the taste test. Also thinking of the appearance. When I first started doing it, I did want to weigh more like price point stuff in here, but I do think it's tough because I think some of the restaurants here in New England, in Boston specifically, they're kind of handicapped a little bit with price points because rent's high. Like it's tough to own a business. It's tough to own a house. It's tough to rent an apartment. So I can only imagine.
It's tough to live.
I'm just saying.
Breathing's hard.
It's not easy.
Oh, so you're gonna start taxing our air pretty soon. For
I'm telling you.
No, dude, don't get me started on text. I'm terrified. But
I'm ready to throw the tea in the hopper. That's all I'm saying.
but no, so it's like
Again.
Again.
It's tough. I understand the tough or the challenges that the restaurant goes through. So it's
Yeah.
like I kind of took the price point aspect out of it. But if I do find a place where I'm like, damn, this is really good value for what you're getting, I'll make sure to highlight that because I want people. I think a lot of people. I still watch videos for food to be like, oh, I can get that sandwich for like $12. Absolutely, I'm going. So those are some of the kind of key parts of it, I think.
Awesome. And then just so that you can kind of humble brag yourself here, there's obviously a ton of food creators in the Boston area, right?
Yeah.
So it's a hyper competitive market for content creation.
Right.
But what is it that you're doing specifically on your page that you would say is like anyone that's a listener now that's going to be, newly introduced to you, like what should they expect? What can they look for as to how you choose to approach your food reviews?
Okay, first off, I'll just say I never take myself too seriously. I recognize I am eating.
First sign you're not from New England.
Yeah.
We take our shit too serious.
But like I recognize I'm eating like birria tacos in a Nissan Sentra. And like, so I'll make jokes about it, right? I'll be very open with, hey, I'm spilling on myself while I'm eating this, but I'm trying to give you guys an honest review of it. Second is the honesty. Like I'm genuinely just sharing what I'm feeling. It's all like a stream of consciousness, essentially, that I'm talking through in my videos. They're edited, but they are genuinely what I'm saying at the time. The only reason, if something looks like it's clipped, it's because maybe I said something, like I said the word wrong, and I realized I didn't pronounce it right. It's that honesty, it's being genuine. And then two, I'm really genuine. I think food is fun. And that goes back to the taking myself too serious thing. I think it is perfectly fine, to criticize something while also not being like, hey, this restaurant sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's perfectly fine to say, hey, I just didn't like this sandwich. It might be your favorite sandwich. And that is fine. We can all sit here and enjoy what we enjoy. We don't have the same taste buds, and it's just me sharing my honest opinion. I will criticize, what I eat, but I'm never going to say it's because this restaurant needs to stop serving this. Just, there's also, there's advantages in doing that, right? I think some people do that because that, you can use that as a hook almost. People want to kind of see that harshness and like kind of putting down places because maybe you had a similar experience. Like, I had to wait at that place for 45 minutes and the food was terrible. I'm glad you feel that way too. But there's also, the other side of it of like, I could go in because I don't set up my visits when I go to restaurants. I could just go into a restaurant that their head chef just decided I'm not showing up today. Somebody's in the back scrambling and I'm outside with my phone and a light, like trying to like,
this shit sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, there's always nuance, right? There's always circumstances to it. So there will never be a review that I do where you'll come away from it thinking like, he was really like unfair to that place. It was just, a genuine experience for me. It's not like it's not like I'm out here again, just trying to bash places to get the hype and to be like, oh, he's the savage, like mean guy. Like, I'm not Gordon Ramsay. I don't have the kitchen experience to be a Gordon Ramsay. Like I was a bus boy at a restaurant in Annapolis when I was 15. Like it's okay.
That's the transplant in you there. Because New Englanders aren't like that. They don't have that kindness. I'm like, backup chef should have had it figured out. What the fuck? The sandwich sucks.
He's a chef for a reason. What's he doing? Yeah.
Where's the damn chef?
Yeah, and that's the funny part about, and I'm sure you get this a lot in your comment section, is like, even no matter how genuine your review is, there are people that are always going to think that you're doing it because, he's being paid to be there. Yeah. Or immediately it's like you give this rave review and they're like, that sandwich sucks. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. You got to go over here and try this instead. Oh, brother.
I have I like to say I have an ongoing beef with this one person in my TikTok comments. And I don't know anything about this person. I think their name on the account is actually fake. But the person has been in my comments since I started. I like talk to them all the time. Like, you're my number one fan, but we will never get along because every place I go to, it's either like, oh, you rated this too high or you didn't like it enough. Yeah. And it's like, hey, I understand we each have our own opinion. Like, and that's the best part of this. I'm always going to respond to your comments specifically because you've been here since I started. But like you said, it's also the like authentic New England experience. Like, people are honest with their opinions and they're, I'm not gonna say loud, but they're willing to share it.
I think that's just like the New England culture, right? I think I don't know if statistically this is accurate, but let's say that a heavy majority of the influence here culturally is Irish American, Italian American, and both of those cultures are incredibly passionate about being right about everything. Yes, they are like the biggest gossip queens. They want to know all your business. Yes, they want to know everything about you, and they want to tell everyone about you, good, bad, or indifferent. Right. So, like, culturally speaking, when you're doing things like food reviews, like that's just bound to happen. The same thing happens with my stuff. Like, no matter how relatable or unrelatable it is. There are people who just like hate what I do. Yeah. They're like, this is not accurate at all. And then there are people who are like, oh my God, like I look at you and I see my dad because this is verbatim how he acts every day. And I'm like,
exactly.
The juxtaposition, I'm like, how is this even possible?
It's
how,
insane,
like,
right? You would think like we're all, for you, right? We're all from this area. You would think we would kind of synergize over our experience.
Yeah.
But you get both sides of it, right? You get the extreme no, the extreme yes, and maybe some people that land in the middle, but it doesn't feel like there's a lot of people in the middle. It's like
those are the people that watch the video and they're like, that was cool. And then they keep going. There's no like, there's no comment. Like, come on.
Never hear
it's like
from them.
the people that enjoy us the most are the ones who don't know how to properly interact with social media. And it's like, we're begging you, just like and comment, save us. Please. SOS. We're getting our asses kicked here because you're not commenting.
Share the video with your opinion of that you like it. Like, we need you. Like, please.
Food is definitely a wild avenue because, as a podcast, we have New Englanders on. Mm-hmm. So it's everything you can imagine under that belt. With food, it's just one thing. But I swear, every video we've done that has any kind of questionable take on food or just somebody's take on food or a thought or
controversy, anything opinionated,
it's gonna go good. The comments, someone's fighting in the comments, and they're just name drop another place, and it's like, but did you watch the actual video? It's just his opinion.
That's it.
But it's fine. Keep doing it. We love it. Thank you.
New England is that should be our new T-shirt, man. We should work on this. Welcome to New England, the region of opinions. Yeah. Because that's all this entire region is everyone's just opinion after opinion.
That's a good tagline. The region of opinions. You could literally share a video of, here's how I like my Dunkin' coffee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just say that, and people.
You put 3 sugars in your
coffee? Are you
coffee?
drinking it hot? What are you doing? Yeah, it's fun. Like I said, I enjoy it because I just love making, getting that engagement, right? And
yeah, of course.
As a transplant, again, just looking to download as much information about the culture as I can.
Love that. And as a transplant, Maryland, so what was the food scene like for you there? I mean, at that point, now you didn't have a camera. Now you were just
I was just eating.
So, what's it like in comparison?
It's a lot. It's actually some similarities, right? So Maryland is a huge focus on seafood, which is very similar to New England. I grew up in Annapolis, so it's right on the water too.
Gotcha.
There, it's crab instead of lobster, right? But you still do your oysters, your clams, stuff like that. There's a little bit more, obviously, a lot more southern aspects to it, right? So you can get your soul food, your fried chicken, your collard greens. That's kind of what my family dinners and stuff would look like. I think there's less ties to. There's still for example, there's a Little Italy in Baltimore, right? The Little Italy in Baltimore probably doesn't compare to the Little Italy in Boston because the Italian community is bigger up here.
Yeah, it definitely does not.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
Here's the comment section.
You keep Little Italy down there, Maryland,
That's
all right?
fair. Okay, I'm not arguing with you at all. But like I said, it's a very coastal, lot of seafood, heavy focus on seafood. Obviously, crab being the main one. I have the opinion, and it's biased. I think crab is better than lobster.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I genuinely feel that way. I think there's a lot more natural flavor in crab than lobster.
Okay,
but I did want to ask
what kind of crab specifically?
So I am blue crab. Blue crab.
Okay.
Blue crab. So I will, I go with my family. We'll get 2 dozens of crabs, sit there, tear them apart. It's a lot of work, and not for a lot of meat, but the flavor is good. I understand, if people go do
the
it.
Tail, man. The tail is what you need. No tail.
The lobster tail, it's fair. But now I as New Englanders, what is your favorite lobster dish? Is it the lobster roll? Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it the lobster bisque? What do you guys go with? Because I just feel like my lobster roll experience has not been superb. So maybe I'm not going to the right places. Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to lobster, obviously, the claws and the tail are usually going to be, obviously, that's where all the meat is. Some people eat everything. They'll suck out the meat that's inside of each tentacle. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But overall, if you're going to have lobster, it needs to just be a hot lobster with really good butter, and it needs to be incredibly hot. And you can get, I don't know what they call it, clarified butter, which is the skimmings where when they boil the butter, you get and it makes it so much richer. It's also you're begging for your arteries to clog while you're doing that, but it is unbelievable. But if you're going to genuinely have a lobster, that is the way to do it.
Okay.
Lobster rolls, for whatever reason, have become incredibly popular, I think, because of social media, and everyone's but transparently, it's not enough meat in comparison to bun.
Yes.
And it's also, if I'm going to spend $25, minimum on like a sandwich. That's it. If you give me a fucking hot dog bun, like I'm gonna be pissed. But also you get like a torpedo roll, and it's like now I got too much bread and I'm not tasting enough lobster.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I prefer a hot lobster roll over a cold lobster roll.
Yeah.
I've had this argument on this pod a million times. I just don't believe that mayonnaise belongs on like a lobster.
Yep.
It's good. It's not bad, but
Yeah.
like. Get me a hot lobster roll every time because I want that butter.
That butter,
like that
I
hot
think the
butter
butter
mix
makes a
is
huge
just like
difference.
what does it.
I agree.
Which is the only reason why we keep Connecticut around because they gave us that.
Yes, true.
And good
Yeah,
pizza.
I'm gonna say I'm a bisque guy. I don't
Okay,
really
bisque,
care
yeah.
for lobster as a whole, but if
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it, or if it's with surf and turf,
Okay, yep,
like if I'm
yep.
gonna have steak with it,
Yeah.
that's my thing. Because I love shrimp.
Same.
Shrimp,
That's
any
my
way
favorite.
you make it,
Yeah.
even if you don't, you can just put a little bit of butter on it. Don't care.
It's something, right?
Little salt's fine too.
Yeah.
I love shrimp. Shrimp cocktail, love it.
Incredible.
But yeah, I don't really care much for hot or cold lobster.
Got you.
I'll
Okay.
eat it just 'cause, if it's there. I'm never gonna go out of my way to buy it.
Right,
Once I
right.
see that PTM,
That
I'm
price?
like, nah.
Ooh, brother. That market price.
market
oh,
price
game.
man.
So-
yeah.
What about you, Vin?
Oh, for seafood, I would say.
No, lobster specifically. Like
Sure. I mean,
your favorite dish of
I
lobster.
guess surf and turf. I'm with Root.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be by itself.
You know what?
Yeah.
though? It's the two Italian guys. That's why.
Oh, okay.
If you could wrap the lobster in the chicken cutlet,
Put it in some
with
ravioli.
prosciutto and just fry it in oil, a little bit of
Actually
pasta,
sounds
and I'm
pretty
locked
good.
in.
That sounds pretty good. I was gonna say lobster mac and cheese.
Dude, lobster mac and cheese is amazing.
Yeah, the best dish is definitely lobster mac and
Yeah,
cheese.
lobster mac and cheese is
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
for
But you
sure.
know what though? Like it's such a hit or miss with the mac and cheese with the lobster. Like
Yeah.
it has
You
to
need
be
good
the
mac and cheese.
It needs to be good. I had it one time from a spot called Sienna, which was
Okay.
formerly on the hill, which is like Federal Hill, which is kind of
Yep.
like our north end,
Yep.
so to speak. There's a Sienna now in East Greenwich and Smithfield. So shout out Sienna.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a lobster mac and cheese there that was a special one time. And I'm telling you, it is like, it's like the long lost child. I have been searching for
So
that
looking to get
high.
it again?
If
Yeah.
I could have just gotten that a million times over,
Yeah.
That's
I
first
would.
hit.
But it's just like, I can't like, even mac and cheese is a tough one for me in general. Like I like mac and cheese,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry. Like I know this is going to be a terrible take. I know it's going to be a terrible take, but like boxed mac and cheese just has like this,
Velveeta or Kraft?
Yeah, which box?
probably Velveeta.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
But just has like this rich, cheesy, and like I know it's bad for me taste.
Yeah.
But like when I'm spending like $20 for like we go to a lot of barbecue places that
Yeah.
we've tried.
Yeah.
The mac and cheese is just never good. And I'm
terrible.
like, this is just pasta with artery clogging.
Yeah.
Like that's all this is.
Here's
Yeah.
a wild one for mac and cheese. KFC mac and cheese is the best.
Really? I've never had KFC's mac and
I haven't had
cheese.
KFC in forever.
I'm more of a Popeyes guy than KFC, truthfully.
I'm told that Chick-fil-A's got crazy good mac and
Dude,
cheese.
their mac and cheese hit or miss. I had it when they first launched it, and I was like, oh, this is incredible. I'm putting it on every sandwich. It was great. And then when I've had it again, it's like, yeah, it wasn't the best.
Well, they changed over their menu, Chick-fil-A, because they realized they're like, hey, you know how you guys were eating healthy? Well, guess what? We're not going to give it healthy anymore, but the
No.
prices are going to stay the same.
Yeah, no, man, capitalism.
Yeah. Facts. No, you know, I used to get like a pulled pork mac and cheese from Panera. That was fire too, honestly.
Okay, I just had maybe my first Panera experience, I think, earlier this year. Me and my fiance went down to visit her family in Florida, and I had never eaten at Panera growing up. And
Yeah.
we were just trying to get something quick, and they have like the half sandwich, half soup you
Yep.
can get. Not bad.
Yeah,
not
I mean,
bad.
it's not bad.
It's like literally, I had Panera before this, and it's the first time I've had it in like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
My order was delayed 25 minutes, and I was like late. But Vin said it perfectly. What did you call it?
It's just nicer hospital food.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Glorified
It is.
hospital. I'm like,
For
I
sure.
could not have said that better
Glorified
myself.
For
hospital
sure.
food.
That's crazy. I have
Take that out. We're not about that on here.
No, that is the truth. That is the honest opinions that we need to share.
But I lived off of that. I did construction prior to like
my God,
this
I did
content
construction
career.
too. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
me-
we,
me
every
too.
day on lunch, it was just like we had our go-to
You have
order.
5 minutes.
Threw
Go
it
get
in
it.
the app, and that's
Yeah.
it. We just had Panera all the time. So I lived off that shit forever.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean it's a good spot. But what part of Florida did you go to?
I was in Tampa.
Tampa.
area, yep.
Because I was just gonna say, to be honest with you, like I feel like Florida's not the mom and pop spot
No.
for food.
No,
Like
it's
if
not.
you're gonna
No,
eat,
it's not.
here's a hot
It's the
take. If
same
you're gonna
20
eat in
things
Florida,
off the
you
exit.
have to eat chain food.
Yeah,
You
no,
have
it
to.
is. And the place where we were at, we literally were like, Because I don't really love eating chain food unless I'm like on a road trip or something
Yeah.
like that. So I was kind of looking in this plaza to be like, oh, is there like a local burger spot? And it was like Five Guys, Panera, like, Chick-fil-A's right there. So
Because
I'm like,
they just don't really have. I mean, they have a ton of farmland, but they just don't have agriculturally speaking.
No.
They don't really get super fresh resources.
No, yeah,
and
that's
like
good.
they got the Florida lobster, which is terrible. It's like raw.
wait, they have lobster down there?
Yeah. Florida has their own lobster,
Yeah.
and it's
What?
like
Is it-
that's why when you go there, it's like all Maine lobster.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
do calamari from Rhode Island and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because like even then, like so they got some fresh seafoods down there, but like it's mostly just the typical like fishes that we don't typically.
Yeah,
eat.
okay, Got you. Makes sense.
I mean, you got shrimp once, right? When we were down in
here we
Florida, and he had shrimp from like a chain spot, and he was sick till 2, 3 o'clock.
It was lobster ravioli.
Oh, that's what it was. This guy got lobster
God.
ravioli from a chain 2, 3
Are
o'clock
we
in
gonna
the
name
morning.
the chain? No name on the
It was,
chain.
it was a bachelor party, and we heard him throwing up for about 2.5 hours.
Was it the ravioli or was it the other stuff that happens?
It was the ravioli, right, Vin?
Who's this at? Who knows?
It'll be a mystery. We'll have to figure out.
When you so we always joke because obviously New England is the North, and then when you consider the South, because the South has a different brand of food
For sure.
Southern hospitality, comfort food is a lot different.
Yes.
I feel like they knock it out of the park down there. It's a lot different up here.
Yeah.
But would you consider Maryland and maybe like I would say like almost New Jersey to like almost Virginia, Maryland area,
Yeah,
Delaware?
yeah.
Would you consider that like a little bit of both?
I do.
Because it's almost central, right?
It
Technically?
is essentially. Obviously, like the Mason-Dixon line used to be like the historic identifier, and Maryland would fall below that. But I've never felt like a Southerner. Like I even if I had some Southern foods, and there's like a South side of Maryland where my dad's family's from, that eat more of that kind of like soul food based food. But I feel like Maryland has a lot of Northeast ties, especially with, being kind of in Annapolis, for example, being like a coastal town, kind of focusing on more of the seafoods and things like that. I think you get a good mix there, really, and it's interesting though, like not a mix to the point. For example, I've had better barbecue in New England than I ever had in Maryland.
We got some fire barbecue up here.
It's crazy, right? And it's, Maryland's much closer to the, barbecue hubs, right?
Right,
The
right.
South, but I never, there weren't a ton of great barbecue spots there. So I do find it interesting because Maryland's kind of like you said, right in that like central spot where you get kind of a mix of both and you kind of miss out on certain aspects of both too.
Absolutely. I feel like the line for me is always drawn in this, like the blizzard line. Like whatever states fall under the line that can get like a blizzard,
Okay.
to me that's South. Because like it can snow. Like I went to Charleston in September or November, and it was like 35 degrees. But it did like it doesn't. I mean, it can snow, but it doesn't really like snow.
They don't
snow.
expect it to.
Kind of like a
right?
light flurry, or if it like
Right.
they don't get like blizzards too often.
Right. There's
So
no
that's-
salt on the roads.
No.
So, yeah. I feel like that would
They
be a
don't
good
have it. They don't
identifier.
have
But that was also
Salt on the roads?
best barbecue I ever had though was in Charleston.
Yeah, I need to go to Charleston. I've only heard good things about Charleston. People say it's similar, actually, and my fiance always gets mad at me because I compare every town to my hometown.
Yeah.
But people say it's similar to Annapolis, but I've heard it's Annapolis with better food. I really want to go to Charleston.
Never been to Annapolis, but Charleston for like a comparison, New England is like coastal town, like Newburyport or like Newport, Rhode
Okay,
Island.
Newport. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
I've been to
Newport is pretty popular.
Yep.
But the vibes are like really high there. It's very youthful and like young. There's a lot of
there's
shopping.
University of Charleston's right there.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
I was going to say, my cousin lives out there and she talks about it all the time. It's
Yeah,
a
it was-
beautiful area.
Dude, there's a reality TV show based down there that I was, well, okay, this was not me. I did not choose to watch it.
Yeah, no.
Reality TV.
We never watch them.
I was sitting on
Our
the
wives and
couch,
girlfriends
I got
put them on,
pulled
and we
in.
just like,
I got pulled in. I can't think of the name of the show.
Southern Charm.
Southern, yes, that one, and it is that specific one. Thank you. It was a trick. I was throwing it up to see who actually knew. But no, it's very interesting. It's very interesting because I feel like the people there are very. You kind of get like if you think of fraternity guys that go in the southern schools, it's like the grown-up version of those people essentially. Exactly. And it's very funny to watch, but it makes Charleston look really fun. Like they have a good time in Charleston, so I gotta visit at some point.
That's awesome. All right, so when it comes to the food experience itself in Boston, where have you started like leaning the most as far as most enjoyable? Like what type of cuisine is it? The grab and go foods, or like have you enjoyed sit downs a little bit more? Anything you've been like pleasantly surprised by?
Okay, so I would say pleasantly surprised would definitely be the Caribbean food that you can find in the areas. I don't have any Caribbean ties, but I grew up, with a lot of Caribbean friends, so I grew up eating a lot of Caribbean food. I do feel like the Dorchester, Roxbury, Hyde Park areas of Boston have really great Caribbean spots. A lot of them grab and go, a few sitting down. But you can get some delicious oxtail, jerk mac and cheese. We were just talking about mac and cheese. If you like kind of like a spicier mac and cheese, sometimes we like some good chicken and some jerk mac and cheese. I need to stay away from some of these places and it's also, when we talk a little bit about the value, there's some places. One of my favorite spots called Merle's in Dorchester. You can get essentially a plate, like a huge plate of jerk chicken, some mac and cheese, rice and beans, and some cabbage for like $14, and it's like enough to make like 2 lunches out of.
I got like a small Italian grinder for like $22 the other day.
Oh my goodness!
Damn, that sounds like way better.
And I want to give credit too to the sandwiches in Boston. Also, we talked a little bit about the North End, but even outside of the North End, and even in some of the suburbs of Boston, there's so many great delis and sandwich spots. You can get Italian sandwiches pretty much everywhere. It feels like, but there's also there's this really cool Cape Verdean sandwich spot that's in Roxbury that I went to kind of like early this year. But no, there's great sandwiches. Prices vary. Like, I agree with you. There are a few places where it's like, wow, $25? Okay. But some incredible breads, incredible meats, things like that. And kind of like, like you said, with the Italian culture there, like it's homegrown ingredients, right? Like it tastes like a real, sandwich made, not just like a kind of processed chicken parm sandwich that you can get from anywhere.
I love that. It's such a unique thing about cities that I feel like as I've gotten older, I've started to understand, again, the capitalism part. It's like, we were in Boston and my wife was like, oh, we have to go to this place. And Vinci had gone with your wife as well. And it was like, because they have a lot of gluten-free options.
Okay, yeah.
So that's like the big thing.
Yeah.
But then we go and it's like a bagel for like, it's like $18 for a single bagel. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, and I get it. Like, but it's just, this is the thing to me that is ruining cities. Like the things that have made Boston so beautiful is the fact that they have just never been New York or LA or San Francisco, or like, they've just had this city vibe that's like, we love our culture. We're passionate about our culture. And it's not that we're not like willing to let people in, but it's like the fact of letting so much in has made this
kind of blown it up.
Yeah. It's like, it's made it like, and it's okay. I mean, that's like the way of the world, right? Yeah. That's how it works. It just sucks because it's like, I'd rather have the mom and pop slinging bagels for $2.50 and you know what I mean? And like a whole container, excuse me, of mac and cheese. I mean, Jesus Christ, cream cheese. I can't talk. I'm getting hungry.
Mac and cheese too on the bagel. Who cares?
But it's just like it
that
just
really didn't hit the spot. You're still hungry, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, like we went to go get
food.
It was like breakfast.
Yeah.
But I'm like, nothing about this was filling, and I just spent
How's the place called?
like $65.
Yeah, on what, like 2-3 people.
And I'm like, I tried like a pastry, and then on top of that, I was like, that's when I found out it was gluten free. By the way, I was like, what is wrong with this? And she's like, oh, this is all gluten free. I was like, why would you tell me this? I would have gone next door. I don't want gluten free.
No, and shout out to my gluten free.
Yeah,
just, if you have celiac, all of that, I respect it. It's different. Like, you don't have to sit there and try to tell us.
Yeah, of course.
I
can't imagine.
Fair.
It's not.
It's really not.
It's
no,
not.
it sucks.
I wish you guys
bad.
could experience how good a great gluten-filled croissant is. Like, I wish you guys could enjoy it. Like, because it's amazing. I have one of my best friends in life. She came up and visited us, and she's gluten-free, and she had never been able to have a cannoli. Because they just no places close to Maryland that were making them gluten free, and we went to Modern in the North End, and they have gluten free shells. And she
cool.
You have to like buy the cream on the side, and she like pumped the cream
right because it can't it can't hold it because it'll soak it up and it'll rot it.
she like cried. Yeah, I was like,
I love
you
that.
have no idea how
Shout
much
out Modern for that.
That's
awesome.
Is, though. Yeah.
That's awesome. I know there's Phil hates gluten. He's a popular Boston guy,
Phil.
so we gotta get Phil on here to talk more about the gluten.
Yes,
and try and
he does a good job
is...
too, because he'll like specifically mention brands that need to do more. Right.
Right.
Like, he'll be like, "Hey, Oreos, like these need to be gluten free. Like we want Oreos too." Or
and we
like
had another girl, Sam, on here who is a vegan.
Yes.
And talking about like the shortcomings of people who are vegan in the city and how tough that is too. So I'm like, okay. Maybe we know enough with the gluten-free bagels. Like, why don't we just make why don't we make food that matters?
Yeah.
Gluten-free rather than let's make the most difficult possible gluten. Like, what is the densest gluten item, and let's make that gluten-free. I'm like, maybe we start small before we go for
So true.
Yeah. And
there's a conspiracy theory. No, I was going to say there's a conspiracy theory behind gluten, because all I'm saying is
well, when you go to
20,
Italy or
25,
these other places,
30 years ago, this shit didn't exist.
It did not matter.
Now, all of a sudden, And I'm not saying if you're gluten free, it's your
Yeah.
fault. I don't think it's your fault at all.
I don't know if you can tell. He's a little under the weather. He's not getting a lot of blood
I'm
to his
just
head right
saying.
now. So maybe
No, hey, listen.
It's this damn world.
this is our
making-
first risk at getting canceled right here.
Going at the
It's these
people that are gluten-
motherfuckers. You brought up capitalism now.
So someone
now
put on
I'm
his
going-
tinfoil hat.
That's true. That's not bad. You guys make it to episode 75. I hop on here and yell out capitalism. Let's see if we get to 100. My bad, guys.
What would you say was the hardest thing to learn growing up?
Probably learning how to like use, save, or spend money.
You legit worked in banking, did you not?
You're welcome.
Are you still with Dime Bank or are you too Hollywood now?
Okay, rude, but yes, I am.
Imagine your followers finding out you're with a Connecticut-based bank.
Okay, first of all, they have a branch in Wesley, Rhode Island, which is where we grew up. So really, that's brownie points because I'm sticking to my roots. Second, I think everyone would appreciate that I'm with a bank that knows and understands their community. Their tagline is legit, community banking lives here.
Hey, I'm not asking you to sell me on it. I've been banking with them for years, and they know me on a first-name basis. I'm just saying, I'm surprised is all. I can see the headlines now. Mr. Anti-Connecticut actually banks with local community bank?
Okay, you know what? Follow along with me here. They're FDIC insured, equal housing lenders, wicked friendly. They take care of all my personal needs, have expansive products to help all my businesses, offer lending across the board, merchant services. What more could I possibly want or need? And you know that I secretly like Connecticut, so...
Oh, I hope you heard that, folks. Dime Bank is the reason Ian loves Connecticut.
Okay, you're ridiculous. Funny story though. You know how they have like the mobile app with like banking, Lifesaver, you can do all the deposits. Have you tried to teach your mom how to do the mobile deposit
No.
yet? I was teaching my mom how to do it and she takes a selfie instead of the check. Visit dimebank.com to learn more. This is a good transition
clip
into our
on that.
So New England segment here. All right. So now that you're a transplant, this is going to be interesting to see. Have you had an opportunity to travel to all of our states?
Yes, I've been to each one.
Okay, awesome. So why don't you tell us from an outside perspective, since you've been here, what is kind of falling in place as like your favorite to least favorite?
Okay.
And no one's going to take it personal but us.
I was about to say, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I would say I'll start with least to most favorite. I think, unfortunately, I would put Connecticut as least favorite.
There's nothing unfortunate about that, but continue.
And mainly because of trauma I have from Merritt Parkway. Because driving from Maryland to...
Correct.
It's brutal, man. And I know it's beautiful and it's a great drive, but when the traffic's there, it is miserable. I don't like it. Number 5, I probably would put New Hampshire. Because there's 6 total, right? I just said number 5.
6 total.
I put New Hampshire. I just haven't had a ton of experiences in New Hampshire, and I do appreciate New Hampshire. It feels like very individualized from New England almost. Like I feel like you kind of get a different culture in New Hampshire. I've had some great food there too, but I just haven't spent a lot of time
I was
there.
gonna say there's really also like your food options are like pretty limited.
That's
there,
what I'm
so.
saying. I just had a crazy
You kind of eat like an
barbecue
Irish
place
person when you're in New Hampshire. It's like it's kind of a little bit of everything on there.
Go to the places with mountain in the name and you'll be fine.
This is true.
I did do. I have skied in New Hampshire, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Twice, so I'm still kind of learning how to ski. I've only been like 4 times in my life.
Oh, shoot.
So
All right.
That's an uphill journey, but
Downhill technically, but
very well done.
unless you're doing some like backpacking, doing cross trekking, something like that. Cross country skiing is uphill. So
skiing sucks, or not sucks. It's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, where am I? So I said Rhode Island, New Hampshire,
Connecticut, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my bad. Oh,
That's okay.
I
I'll
just
never
started
let you
throwing
put,
That was bad. Why did I just do that? Connecticut, New Hampshire. I'll do Rhode Island next. Again, limited experiences in Rhode Island. I love Newport. Newport's incredible. Like I said, it reminds me of my hometown a lot. I love kind of being like on the rocky beaches too. Like what's the cliff walk over there?
Yeah, Cliff Walk is beautiful.
Very cool. I wish I could somehow find a way to own a house anywhere near there. That would be
Yeah,
very
I don't
cool.
even know if those are considered houses. Those are technically
mansions.
museums.
Yeah. But if I can ever make that happen, or if someone wants to just like welcome me in, I can rent Airbnb.
That first
for a
mile
bit.
you're walking is actually just one house.
Oh
that whole
yeah,
time.
dude, it's insane, and the walk is like kind of hard. Honestly. I was like hurting up there. But I put Rhode Island at 4. Number 3, I'll go Vermont. I think Vermont may be the most like cozy of the states. Like in Vermont, the people in Vermont are very welcoming in my experience. But again, in terms of the states, of the 6 states, I'd say it's probably like my 3rd least known, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I've done some ski trips there. I've gone up there a few times for food and stuff like that, but I need to see more of Vermont probably before I put it in the top 2. Number 2, I'll say Maine. Maine is, I've been there a few times for like doing outdoorsy things. I love Acadia. I love Getting out, during the summer, going to kind of some of the coastal towns. Portland in Maine is also incredible. And the food there, I shared my opinion on Lobster. Obviously, Lobster's big there, but there is a lot of other great things you can find.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
Maine. So I'll put Maine number 2. And then one, biased because I've lived there, my whole time in New England, I'll put Mass at 1. I think it's very well rounded in terms of you can get the, history, right? You got a major city in Boston. There's rural areas. There's a lot of suburbs of the city, great schools and things like that. So that's my ranking, I think.
That's a strong ranking. And it's actually really funny because I think that the way that you unbiasedly gave that review is a pretty accurate description of like each state, because a majority of the people who live here have not been to all 6 states of New England, and they would share their opinions in such a stereotypical biased way. So I love that you've actually been to these and you're like putting thought into this because it gives a true perspective of the New England like region as a whole.
Right. Trying to. And I'm sure there will be somebody watching this like, oh brother, if you actually spent time in Rhode Island, it might be you guys that say.
Yeah, no, actually no, we're probably like the worst, because the first thing I would say is Newport, I'm not a Newport guy. Most Rhode Islanders aren't. And anyone that typically visits is often, like, oh, Newport's the spot to go.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I happen to think that the food in Newport is just not good because it's overpriced.
Yes.
Way overpriced.
I could see
and
that.
because it's so transient that like, not necessarily the chefs, but like maybe like the line cooks and like the back of house staff and the front of house staff, they're pretty transient. So they're not like, they don't give you that authentic New England culture and feel. So it's like,
I could see that.
I just spent $75 for a dish that just over the bridge cost me $35. And it's usually better because it's, again, that home cooked experience. That's the one thing I will say about Rhode Island is like, if you want that real, like authentic mom and pop type of food, you're going to get that here, because like, that's all we are, is like small businesses. We have a lot of, chains starting to open up, which is hurting us terribly, but
dude, that's hitting a lot. Like we talked about earlier, it's hitting a lot of areas that you kind of don't want to see it in. Like I love being able to go and support mom and pop business. And when my fiance's brother lives in San Francisco, and it's great being able to go there sometimes because there's like no chains in the city.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that experience, but capitalism.
That's
it
always comes back. It always comes back.
I kind of want to put a little twist on this if I can. So our next question is typically, what is your like Boston sports, New England sports rankings?
Brother.
Now, obviously, you are not a Boston sports fan. So what I would like you to do is rank the Boston sports that have broken your heart the most.
Oh,
yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's
who can't you stand the most?
Okay. At number 1. Oh, that's really tough.
Say his name. We want to talk about it.
I actually, you know what's crazy? It's the Celtics for me, because I'm also a Lakers fan.
Okay, gotcha.
My mom, all right. First, growing up in Maryland, when I tell people I grew up in Maryland, they're like, "Oh, not the Wizards." Like, our best player that during my lifetime brought guns into the locker room. Like, I'm not going to I'm not going to support that organization, guys. Like, I gave up on that at a young age.
He was a stud for a real.
Gilbert Arenas was so good. I had a jersey, man. He was good.
Oh,
and then his knees started acting up, and then the guns.
Then he started acting up.
And then Gilbert Arenas started doing what Gilbert Arenas does. So,
he was one of the most elite one-on-one players in the league.
Oh my goodness,
so
man.
elite.
I had all the video games, and I would always play with Gilbert Arenas. But
it's so crazy because I'm a Mamba, like I'm a Kobe Bryant.
Dude, okay, that's what I was gonna say. That's my
die hard.
Yeah.
Like that's like cats out of the bag. Most people that know me know that.
Yeah.
But if you could imagine if all of those people that we think about, like a Gilbert Arenas of this world, had like that Mamba mentality,
brother,
just how good these guys could have been.
Brother, if you could just stay focused on the fact that you are one of the best players to like touch a basketball,
it wouldn't,
on that.
I don't know if Kobe would have ended up being as elite as he was if all these other guys had the same work, and that's what separates them.
Yeah,
that's what, again, like Tom Brady, that's what separates these guys. But
speaking of Kobe, that's my favorite athlete of all time. Is Kobe Bryant. So I was a huge Lakers fan. Rest in peace. And I can remember sitting in my aunt's basement in 2008 when the Celtics won that championship, their first championship, in 20 years. Paul Pierce and KG, anything is possible, and I wanted to break the television.
Yeah.
So the Celtics will always be number 1 for me because, like Kobe, if he wins in 2008, he'd have as many rings as Jordan. I could sit here and say the GOAT, all that stuff. I got taken away from me by the Celtics. So Celtics are number 1 in terms of who traumatized me the most. Patriots number 2 because I thought you guys went away. Like, you guys had that first 3 rings. Tom Brady got hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, man, Ravens, Joe Flacco just got there. We got a chance. We might be able to ring a couple together.
Flacco.
And then out of nowhere, here comes Brady again. Now he's got this little guy named Edelman and another little guy named Amendola and another little guy named Woodhead. And it's like, where are you finding these guys that can play football at this level and dominate games at the height of like 5'9"? But the Patriots are number 2. Bill Belichick also, I believe he's from Annapolis. He's from the same hometown.
I'm pretty
as me.
sure he is. Yeah.
Interesting.
And he would, I went to school at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. And he would come visit. I played football there. And he would never come talk to our football team. He would go talk to our lacrosse team.
Girls lacrosse.
No. He might talk to him. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes.
Damn. That's brutal.
But he had a
You just went viral, son.
Brother, hey, listen. If that gets played
Sorry,
more than
Jordan.
the Capitals.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna play that. He's gonna clip that tonight for himself.
But he would always go talk to the men's lacrosse team. He would never come talk to the football team. And I'm like, brother, we play the sport that you're like the best coach ever at. Like, just come. You can say 5 words to us, and I'd be like, dude, I talked to Bill Belichick about football. But he never did. So Patriots number 2. I was never a huge hockey fan. So Bruins, I'd probably put them number. Sorry, I skipped the Red Sox. Red Sox number 3 because I'm an Orioles fan, and I feel like I could relate to Boston fans of like, hey, we're a struggling team. We just want to beat the Yankees. Like, we just want to be good, right? We just want to win the big one. And then I see the Red Sox do it in 2004. And then they did it again. And then they kept doing it. It's like, wait, you guys are supposed to do it. And then
wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Y'all forgot us. We were supposed to go
I
with
thought we
you.
were taking turns, guys. What happened? So I put the Red Sox 3. Like I said, I wasn't a huge hockey fan, so the Bruins would probably be 4. But yeah, I think those are the top. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough battle for me because I want to be a New Englander. Like, I want to be a local and I want to be a part of the fan base, but there's going to be a lot of hours of therapy for me to get past that trauma to ever cheer for any of these teams.
You know what though? Like, we respect the fact that like you can be, if you're doing everything you're doing is right. You're legit doing everything that's appropriate. And I feel like we adopted people who are non-sports fans in this area as long as it's like you're true to yourself. Like,
Right.
if you're doing everything New England based, it's just like, hey, look, like this is just who I'm loyal to.
Yeah.
We'd rather have you at the bar so that we can like pick on you for the fact that you're losing.
Exactly.
Than to have, than deal with someone who is like a diehard, but also an asshole.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. But New England sports fans are also interesting to me because I feel like there's still like a slight underdog mentality, even though it's been such a dominant like 20 plus years. I remember when I visited Boston for the first time, once my fiance was moving up here, we were watching the playoff games when the Patriots played the Bills and Josh Allen like went crazy. It was when you guys had Mac Jones. And
That was a rough game.
I was sitting next to an older guy, and I was like, I think I just said something like, it sucks when you build your hopes up and your team just doesn't show up. Like, I hate that. And he was like, oh, I haven't had my hopes up for the Patriots since the 80s. I was like, what? Like, you guys just won like 6 rings in 20 years? And he was like, no, I think that's just kind of part of the mentality. Like, even if we've been dominant, we'll still look at it as like, hey, I think some of it is the Boston, New York thing too. It's like, hey, we are a major metropolitan city, but people still kind of look down at us sometimes. So we're going to root for our guys, right, and be like strong behind our teams.
There isn't a New England sports fan that you'll find that won't be like, yeah, well, the damn perfect season, that helmet catch. It's like, goddamn Nick Foles. It's like, oh, Ray and Paul, the big 3, those guys. It's like, or Kobe back in 2009. Like, they'll always find a way to find the negative. It's just, and that guy's like, since the 80s, and he's probably the guy that's like, yeah, Tom was okay.
Yeah.
But that's just like New England, dude. It's just,
It's bad.
Yeah.
He took me to a game. It was really cold. I think it was against the Bengals. And it was the last game of the year, like 2 or 3 years ago. Mac was still there. We were rough. It was a rough season. And I think Nick Folk missed a kick or something stupid. And like, mind you, we sucked. We had no playoff implications. Like, it was
just
and
a
he's
game,
walking off to the locker room. And like in Gillette, when you walk off, it's under the stadium. So there's stadium here, and you're walking this way.
Yeah.
And these are the New England fans that I genuinely dislike.
Yeah.
we're fucking 2-12.
Fuck you, Nick Foles, you're a fucking bum. And saying like not borderline nasty.
Yeah.
Just past that. And it's like,
By the way, that guy's probably an English teacher somewhere in Shrewsbury.
It's like, that guy's a grown man. Like,
Yeah.
what were you hoping we were going to make like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
No, that's
real?
a part of it. That's
And it's
definitely
just
part of
brutal
it.
because I'm like, I bet you if you were down here, you ain't going to say that
No,
to
you
him.
wouldn't be
You're
like
lucky
that.
you're up there.
Yeah.
He might be a kicker, but he's a large man.
Oh, dude, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm just.
You get around some
especially
of these
for you.
football guys and like,
Oh, yeah.
very different. Then when you're like, a bunch of rows up versus like right next to it, it's like, oh, like I remember I ran into Ty Law at like an influencer event or something like that. He was because he's got the new vodka, and I was like, wow, like he hasn't played in 15 years, but like I can't beat him on a route. Like I have no chance. Like he would body me right now.
That's great.
That's a good one.
We have a two-parter for you.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
You have been in New England now for a couple years, so I feel like this is a very logical answer for you, but we'll see.
Yep.
What is something you find overrated about New England, and then something you find underrated about New England?
Okay. I think underrated, I would say, is weather in general. Like, I think people think of New England and only think of the winter. But in reality, I don't really feel like we get a spring. But I think the 2 other seasons are like 2 of the best seasons you can find in the country. So I think if you can just tough it through like March to April-ish most times and get to that summer and then get to that fall, it's really hard to beat. Like, I truly enjoy summer and fall here so much. So I think the weather gets a little underrated. Overrated, oh man, what would I say is the most overrated thing? Let me think. Shoot.
Take your time. No rush.
Shoot, my bad. I feel like I was probably, when I was thinking of this question before, I was probably going to say something sports related, but I feel bad because I just like don't. But
Overrated fucking Tom Brady. Fucking guy beat us every year.
I mean, if there's any way for me to, I don't think people have a high opinion of New England traffic, so it's hard for me to say it's overrated. But commuting through the different states, and I think people like romanticize the drive through the foliage and stuff like that sometimes. Right. It's not as fun as it seems. I'm trying to tell you if you're listening to this. Again, foliage is beautiful during the fall. Some of the views, when it snows, it's so nice. But then you're going to hit a traffic and you're not going to get to where you're trying to go on time at all. So traveling through the New England states, I guess, was probably what I'd say is the most overrated.
Now, we have a lot of New England influenced movies. Are you are you a movie buff at all?
I love movies.
Any movies that are from the Boston, New England area that you have a favorite of?
So I feel like everybody loves The Town.
Yep.
The Town. I loved The Town before I ever, stepped foot up here. My mom, I remember there was a guy, I'm not going to out my man's because I don't know his name, but he used to sell like the bootleg DVDs in my barbershop, and we got The Town, and I was like, dude, Ben Affleck might be the best actor in the world. That was incredible. I'm about to cry in here. I'm like,
things most New Englanders don't say for 100, please.
And then, but I think my favorite is actually the Departed.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I love mobster movies.
Yep.
And you get a mobster movie with Jack Nicklaus, Leo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Marky Mark is in there. Like it's a great cast, well acted movie all the way throughout, and it's like. We would play that when we played in college. That would be the movie. A lot of times we'd play on the bus back because it's just like it's something you always want to watch, no matter how many times you've seen it. So I'd probably say that.
So funny. I saw like an interview with someone that was on set for. I think he was playing Jack's like one of his right hand men, henchmen or something like that. And in the opening scene, when he pops the guy in the back of the head, and he goes, "Huh." She fell funny. They were like, that was like totally improvised. You're supposed to just shoot
I have seen that.
And I was like, that's so
insane.
It's such like an epic line from that movie that it's just like Jack Nicholson just being Jack Nicholson. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. It makes me question Jack Nicholson's like life. Like what? I could never do that line.
It's so weird. He's like the only person that played the Joker and turned out okay afterwards.
Yeah, true.
Like, you know what I mean? The Shining. I was like, this.
It's kind of crazy.
Everyone just sees him as a courtside Lakers guy, but everyone forgets this guy's a little tapped.
Yeah, he's kind of a method actor with some of this stuff. Yeah,
too funny.
I would say that. Yeah, The Departed is probably my favorite one.
Great movie.
That is a good movie. What's another one? Okay,
Adding a state.
Yep, that's where I'm going. If you could add one state to New England, we have 6 beautiful states.
Yeah.
If you could make it a 7th, and it comes with everything: traffic, people, food. All of it.
Yep.
What are you bringing?
Again, biased, and I keep bringing up Annapolis. So I think I would add Maryland. I think the capital of Maryland, my hometown, Annapolis, fits very well into New England. I also think culture-wise, there's like kind of this like every time, as you guys have seen me do, whenever someone asks, if you don't usually have to ask someone if they're from Maryland, they will let you know somehow.
Like someone who's a CrossFitter or they're gluten free or vegan. They'll let you know.
It's exactly. It's like very, we have that obnoxious flag. I got a lanyard at home that has a flag on it. Like it's, and I think that kind of fits well within the New England culture. I think there's also like the coastal ties to it. Some of the sports culture also, like the way we rally behind the Ravens, I think is very similar to how you guys rally behind the Patriots and stuff. So I'll probably add Maryland. Again, biased answer, and then also I can get some more crab up here, so I don't have to try to fake that like us. So.
Now let's just like kind of focus here a little bit on the food. So New England as a whole, when it comes to our food, we are very seafood based.
Yes.
But with your experience since you've been a transplant, what are like some of the dishes to you that like have just kind of screamed to you like this is like New England right here?
Yeah, I think obviously clam chowder, like there's the staples, right? The clam chowder, the lobster roll. The clam chowder is absolutely an incredible dish, and it is something I never thought you would be able to eat it at all seasons, but I will eat clam chowder at any time of the year. I also feel like raw oysters. I had a lot of raw oysters growing up, or I tried them a bunch of times, but my appreciation for like an oyster bar since I moved to New England has gone up tremendously. Like just being able to sit down, get a dozen oysters, tons of horseradish, tons of cocktail sauce, and just enjoy that with like a beer. Like that's a true New England experience that I feel like I want to do.
You might be the first person to say that.
Really? The raw oyster?
The raw oyster concept with the beer. I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear it a lot, but like I can immediately I'm just thinking of
Doesn't it just take you like? There's so many towns that it takes me to in New England, right?
That's a
like,
vibe.
I feel like
I'm with you there. I'm sitting at the bar with you. I feel good.
I can see all the hedge fund managers, all the people, all the white men who own those Newport mansions,
PE guys
sitting around. PE guy for sure. Get Johnny Halbert back in here right now. Yeah, well, we got him over my house. We're having a couple of raw oysters tonight.
It's tough because in those situations, I'm having like my half dozen. Somebody across from me is putting down multiple dozen. And it's like because my feelings about market price may be very different than yours. But that experience, I feel like that's a very New England tied experience.
Yeah, it's right there. A little LL Bean, Patagonia, something going on.
Also donuts. I don't know, like there's so many great donuts throughout New England.
A lot of donut shops.
I've gone to different suburbs of Mass, different places in Vermont and gotten great donuts. Apple cider donuts, obviously during the fall and all that.
Oh yeah, now
obviously Dunkin', of course.
Yes,
the founding father of the New England donut. But
it's actually in the Declaration of Independence. A lot of people don't know that, but right in the corner it just says Dunkin'.
See, what's his name? Hancock signed it so big that people missed it. Dunkin's right in there.
That's it.
It's actually signed with Dunkin' in there. But I think a donut, like, again, I've been to Dunkin' Donuts growing up in Maryland, but it's different. It's different.
You guys got different water down there.
That's the New Yorkers. I can't. Okay, sidebar. New Yorkers, stop telling me, you guys have great pizza makers. Stop discrediting them and just keep saying it's the water, dude. We make better bagels because it's the water. Maybe it is, but I just don't need to hear it anymore, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. I get it. You guys have great cheap bagels, brother. Just do it.
Man.
It's
just a
dude.
bagel.
That's it, man. Like,
you can make it worse. You can have that gluten-free bagel, but besides that, it's just a bagel.
Put the gluten in there. Put the gluten back.
Yeah.
They're claiming the
hashtag.
Bagels.
Now the food scene as a whole, like what is a way that you can kind of like if you could talk to people about the Boston food scene, because I feel like you're very pro Boston food scene.
I am.
So talk to people, let them know like what is your take on the food scene, give some advice,
right?
Give some encouragement. Where are you going to tell people that they should go and try?
Yeah.
Maybe places that they should avoid where you're like, this is like going to trip you up.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't the spot. Check this stuff out.
For sure. I think Boston's food scene, a lot of people call it overrated almost because it's just like a group opinion. I think it's been called overrated so much to the point that it's becoming underrated. I think there are different aspects of it. The biggest issue, I think, is with some of the people with platforms, including myself. I think a lot of times we spend a lot of investing our content highlighting like places or types of food that people are already familiar with. So it makes it seem like, Boston only has seafood or Italian or something like that. And then the comparison points come up of like, I'm going to go to Boston to get Italian. Like New York's got great Italian. Like, okay, compare New York to any city. Of course, New York has great Italian, right?
Right, it's the biggest.
And then Boston also gets compared seafood-wise to some of the coastal cities like, north and south of it, right? So it's tough. So I think go to Boston, willing to try a cuisine that maybe isn't as highlighted as, a Italian or seafood, right? Like like I talked about Caribbean food. There's so many great Caribbean places, and different. Don't be scared of like spice. Like, they have non-spicy dishes. You can find, like, there's a place, Comfort Kitchen in Dorchester. It's actually very cool too, because they one of the ways they got their brick and mortar was people in the community that like had tried their pop-up kitchens were able to invest in them building a brick and mortar. So
that's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Right.
I love
And then
that.
they
the So New England we love.
that's what I'm talking. And they open up, and they were I think they were Best of Boston the first year they opened up, or they were Best of Boston.
That's better than that.
That's what I'm saying. And it's a type of food that isn't as, big in Boston, but it's incredible food, an incredible dining experience. So yeah, I think it's just be open-minded. Also, don't, every time when I post I'll always say Boston area, and maybe I'm in Cambridge or Somerville. Don't feel like you need to be in Boston proper to experience Boston's food scene, if that makes sense. Like,
No, that makes perfect sense.
There's
a lot of people who are
Boston
sticklers.
Yeah, a lot of Boston ties obviously expand to Cambridge and Somerville, and you can go to these places and get incredible food, and you're a 6-minute walk from Boston proper. Like,
Right.
you're a quick 10-minute drive from Boston proper. So just be open-minded when you visit. Don't come in thinking, like you said, there's a lot of larger platforms with the opinion of Boston's food scene is trash. And if you can just go into it thinking, let me get my own experience and see what I come back with, I think you can find ways to enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Thank you.
Key, where can everybody find you online?
Yeah, so I am at Wannabe Stay at Home Dad on Instagram and TikTok. I also have a YouTube channel. I'm posting a lot of my shorts and reels there. I'm trying to get some longer form content going, so check me out on YouTube as well. And then I'm also on, as they mentioned earlier, Let's Meet Boston with Billy and Jenny on Nessun. We were on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. on Nessun, so feel free to check that out. See me, in the horizontal way too, and the vertical way. I like to tell me which looks better, because I'll probably choose my career path based on that. But yeah, those are my spots.
Awesome. And then if there's one spot right now, you got to move back to Maryland. You got one spot to go and have one last meal in Boston. What's it going to be?
It's a spot I think that gets talked about a lot, but Grill 23 in Boston, the steakhouse is. I was planning to record when I went there. I was going to set my phone up, and I think as soon as the bread came out, and then the appetizer came out, and then the steak came out, I got so wrapped up in the meal, I didn't record anything. And I was like, oh, I just like really had a genuine experience here where I wasn't making any Facebook. I was just eating. I feel like I barely even talked to my fiance after dinner. It was so incredible. And Grill 23 is amazing. If you want like a really great, steakhouse dinner, they've got incredible drinks too. I'm not a martini guy, but I've heard their martinis are incredible. So I got to put Grill 23 out there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Key, thank you again so much for being on with us.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you coming down to Little Roadie. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 75 is now in the books. We appreciate you listening, but try and remember, folks, life's better in New England.
Red Sox crack and the Celtics fly. Patriots fight and the Bruins